Hey there, Krista here from Mortgage Simple. Welcome to Krista's Mortgage Minute. This week we are going to talk about two common misconceptions that we encounter in the mortgage business on a daily basis. So the first one we're going to talk about is second homes and how much down payment is required to purchase a second home. Most people think that you require at least 20 or 25% down payment in order to purchase a second home. And that's just simply not the case. When we are purchasing a second home in Canada, you're actually allowed to have 5% down payment. Now that is insured through one of Canada's default insurances. We have 3 default insurers in Canada, so a one-time premium is added to the mortgage for having less than 20% down. But at the end of the day, the requirement is only 5% down for a second home. Now that rule varies. If you are purchasing a second home for the purposes of a rental property, then 20% is required for a down payment. But if it's not an investment property and it is simply a second home, maybe a home for your kid to go to university or maybe a vacation home for yourselves, then only 5% down payment is required. The second misconception I wanted to talk about is how fixed rates and variable rates are calculated. Lots of people think that a fixed rate and a variable rate operate on the same scale, and they don't. So I just wanted to clarify that a variable rate is reviewed 8 times a year by the Bank of Canada. So they meet on a scheduled basis and they review the Canadian economy and make a decision on whether they're going to keep prime rate the same or change it. And a variable rate mortgage or a line of credit will be adjusted accordingly based on the Bank of Canada's decision on prime rate. The other rate that we have is a fixed rate, so a fixed rate mortgage. And fixed rates are changed based on the bond yield, which has nothing to do with the prime rate in Canada. So it's calculated completely differently. And they do not go hand in hand. So just because one changes doesn't mean that the other one's going to change. Anyway, that's the information that I wanted to share with you today. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.